Being a 3D platformer in the PS3 era was a hard time. You missed being a classic from the PS2, and you weren't at the 3D platformer revival during the PS4 era. Still going on, hopefully. However, there were some solid 3D platformers released for the PlayStation 3, and they're jumping to get your attention, so here's my list of the top 10 3D platformers on the PlayStation 3. Number 10, Sonic Generations. Now, this game has a good 3D platforming third. You run, hit some guys, jump, then run some more. Gotta go fast, right? Well, another third is 2D with classic Sonic. Nothing against 2D Sonic, but I think the different playstyles should be kept separate, like this. But my main beef with the game is Sonic's damn friends and their annoying ass stages. This made me run away from this game. Number 9, The Blob 2. This game is a very laid back 3D platformer. Just listen to those tunes, man. You're just here to jump and color stuff. A very mellow game for sure. Number 8, Tomb Raider Underworld. Now, as somebody who has never played a Tomb Raider game before, this was way wackier than I expected. But there was a lot of platforming to be had, tombs to raid, and things to fight. Tiger!
I have the high ground!
Number 7, Sly Cooper, Thieves in Time. Sly Cooper is one of the platforming trio from the PS2 era, and he's back. But not with the original studio, as Sucker Punch moved on to a new IP for the PlayStation 3 era. So a new studio came in to make this game, and while it follows in the steps of the old game, it's not exactly the same. Enjoyment can be found in this game, but whether it be the story or the fact that it's overly easy, it didn't captivate me as the games before it, which was a major hurdle for this studio, living up to a big legacy. Number 6, Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. For a game from a popular series, I never hear anyone talk about this game. It's like it was forgotten. The platforming in this game is like acrobatics as you make your way through the Arabian-themed land. I guess that makes you an... Number 5, Invisibles, The Lost Kingdom. Invisibles is a Sony series that's known for its handheld augmented reality games, mostly on the PSP and one on the Vita. This game breaks away from the series genre to an adventure 3D platformer, and while it's a little rough around the edges, it does a solid job at jumping into something new. The gameplay has a variety of Invisibles that have different abilities that come together to solve simple puzzles, and while I preferred to jump around, they've all got hops. Number 4, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures 2. I picked the second game specifically because I remember the first one being a very bare-bones 3D platformer with annoying characters that dragged on in lengthy cutscenes. With the second game, they upped the ante on the platforming while also greatly reducing the cutscenes with characters to only basic information. So now I can jump to my heart's desire. Number 3, Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom. Now this game has a lot of different elements to it. You got the hops, you got the sneaking part from Ocarina of Time, you have an AI partner that you give commands to.
Pull the lever, Gronk.
So this game is quite a blend, but I put it on here because it does have fun 3D platformer as it adventures through the Forsaken Forest. Number 2, Alice Madness Returns. Platformers are all about jumping, and I think this game has terrific jumping mechanics. The double jump and the glide after a jump feel so satisfying. The combat is also a solid system and quite fluid with the bevy of weapons that you obtain. The only drawback is some technical issues, and there are parts that feel stretched out. So American McGee, better pacing. That's all we need from the potentially new Alice game. Everything else is spot on. Number 1. I could have basically made this list with only Ratchet & Clank games and it would have been a fine list. That's how much this series has a grip of top 3D platformer on PlayStation. It's like Sony's Mario. Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time are the big ones of this generation. These games brought Ratchet into the HD era and brought about more incredible adventures to take our duo on. Quest for Booty was a good game. Good, but really short. It's pretty much DLC for Tools of Destruction. So if you're into the series, then it's totally worth the quick fix. Now, the spin-offs are where people get a bit iffy on the series. The spin-offs of All for One and Full Frontal Assault aren't as bad as people say they are, but you really do need a second person to enjoy them to their fullest potential. I ran through All for One with my friend Pyro SSBM, and it was a blast, which was miles different from when I had tried it before and struggled to get the Airhead AI to work with me. It's a shame that it wasn't able to pull off both, which was something that Ratchet Deadlock was able to pull off, so it is feasible, but they designed it in a way that you really needed people. Similarly enough, Full Frontal Assault is in the same boat. However, it's a bit more traditional Ratchet & Clank as the camera's behind you, but you're mostly doing small objectives while defending your base. Again, like All for One, this one is enjoyable with a friend. Lastly is Into the Nexus. This one, kind of like Quest for Booty, is a short game. Not that short though. The potential of what it could have been is a big letdown. Had it been a full game, it could have been on the same levels as Tools Destruction or A Crack in Time. Everything is here for the game to succeed. Also, it was a fresh of breath air to have a new villain. As much as we all love Nefarious, his time is over. It's time to move on to a new villain. And there's a theory floating around that this was going to be a full game, but it was late into the PS3's life cycle, and the PS4 was about to come out, so they shortened it. Again, it's just a theory, but if that does hold any truth, then they should have just ported it over to the PS4 and made it a whole game instead of cutting it short. Imagine having Into the Nexus as a starting point for Ratchet & Clank on the PS4. Into the Nexus, into the new gen, it works out perfectly. Also, we wouldn't have had the stupid damn reboot thing. God damn it, I hate that so much. But anyway, it was a good game. But that was my list. What did you think? Were there any 3D platformers that I missed? You know, is there a rogue 3D platformer out there somewhere in the oblivion that I haven't heard of? Let me know in the comments below.